077 488 55055, and we're going to go live. So how this game works, Haroon, is I'm going to give you a deck and you can shuffle it. I haven't looked at it, and I'm sure you haven't as well. I'm hoping I don't get the same questions. I have played this game probably 3 times in the past.
Okay.
So, and it's quick games, man. Cool. So let's just sort this out as well. Perfect. So yeah. So how this game works is you face it downwards so that you've got the black side of the cards facing you. Yep. I'll take one out, and that will be like the question to you. Yep. And then you answer it however you want. You answer it personally, or you share what you want to share, or you can even just skip the question as well. Yeah. And then you'll do the same, and vice versa. And you just play the game, man. Just be honest, open up. Some questions are proper deep, like they actually hit you right in the sweet spot. Oh, okay. And other questions are just like standard, and it's like it's heartwarming. So inshallah, we're gonna go for it. I'll go first, so you can answer. First question is, okay, you have to finish this off, yeah?
Yeah.
I could improve my relationship with the Quran by blank.
I can improve my relationship with the Quran by being more consistent and not just reading the Quran, but also going through the tafsir and trying to study the Quran in a way that you can actually understand and you know, you don't just read it, but also make sure that you try to implement it. So yeah, I think that's just some of the things.
Awesome. You want to go next?
Yeah. It's my first time playing the game, by the way.
Yeah. It's always on the spot, man.
It is. When was the last time you faced a fear? How did you feel afterwards?
Oh God. Okay, the last fear I faced, I didn't actually face it. I chickened out of it, man.
No way.
Yeah, it was and it's so surprising. Like people like the guys that were there, were thinking, how did you chicken out of that? You've done skydiving, you've swum with sharks. Like, how do you chicken out of something like that? What it was, I was in Mauritius. It's a place called Ublu. It's like a natural waterfall that only happens during winter time because of the rain. So the water, it's dry in summer, and then it becomes a waterfall again. Oh wow! In winter. And there was like this string, this rope that you jump on, and it swings you into the waterfall, and then you let go. Yeah. And I love doing stuff like that, cliff jumping, all of that. But this, I don't know, man. It was just like I didn't have enough.
You weren't feeling
faith in myself, not in myself. More or less, but the rope, like I just didn't trust the rope. Like I don't know. It was something I didn't have experience in, and But the last fear I faced definitely was skydiving. Like skydiving was crazy. You've done it before as well, haven't you? Yeah. Skydiving was crazy, man. Like we act all macho in front of it. Like I can't wait to jump out of a plane at 15,000 feet in the sky for charity. But when you're sitting on there, bro,
that last second, when you
that macho-ness, that masculinity, that goes out the window. And so do we. So let me go for the next one. Let me flip the camera around to you again, inshallah. So next question is, how can we improve our relationship? It's a bit sweet.
Oh.
Yeah, me and you, bro.
Okay. I would say we kind of like you said today, we've kind of known each other mainly on entrepreneurial level, on business level. We always kind of meet up and stuff, talk about business all the time. I mean, that's kind of what we do all the time.
Man. Anyways. Business is life, bro.
Exactly. So, but maybe doing some extra stuff, sometimes going out and going for some meals outside of that. I know we've been talking about, going abroad, and we
doing a tech break.
Yeah, it's like a tech break kind of thing. I think that, doing stuff like that will probably bring us a lot, bring us together a little more. So, yeah.
For sure, man. Love that. And wa alaikum salam, Nabil, Ismail, my G. He said he gave salam to both of us on Facebook Live.
Wa alaikum salam, Nabil.
Right, go on. Ask away. Hope it's not too deep.
Yeah, this one's a little bit deep. When I think of me and Allah, I feel...
contentment. When I think of me and Allah, I feel contentment because of tawakkul. Taught this in a couple workshops, recent workshops actually, Nottingham Trent and Birmingham City University. I touched up on a topic called tawakkul, trust in Allah, putting your faith and trust in Allah, not worrying what comes next, not worrying what happens next, but doing your part. As human beings, we do our part, right?
Yeah.
But the rest is in Allah's hands. And that part, that bit where the rest is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's hands, that's contentment, bro.
100%.
Yeah. That one didn't catch me off guard because it's something I've taught recently, Right, next one. Just in case anyone's joined in recently, we are playing the Freshly Grounded Cards game off the bat, and we are asking each other the questions. So, next is, who really are you? Damn, bro.
Really
This one's about to expose Haroon Osman now.
Wow. I'm really on the hot seat now. Who really am I?
You're not a cybersecurity expert, so who really are you?
Personally, I would say somebody who tries his best whenever I can. I do chicken out a lot sometimes, and I do have habits that sometimes are not the most productive habits. They're not habits that help me kind of go forward, but I try my best to kind of get rid of habits, and I feel like I'm very obsessive over small things in my life and try to make sure that I improve in those areas. I would say I'm ridiculously persistent sometimes. I'm in my head a lot, and I try my best, alhamdulillah, but at the same time, I think personally I have the highest self-esteem, and I feel like that probably helps me to push myself a lot more, just because I don't think not too much of myself, but I feel like I can do way more. There's not enough. I haven't done enough, kind of thing, and that's kind of how I feel most days.
Love that, man. At least you were honest then. You didn't skip the question.
Yeah, that was a bit nerve-wracking, but I try my best.
Go on, what's next?
Cool. If somebody could see your actions and not hear your words, what would they say your priorities are?
Bloody hell, man. I'm going to go straight into it. So repeat the question again.
If somebody could see your actions and not hear your words, what would they say your priorities are?
They would see headless chicken, man. For real. Well, I know my priorities. I have my priorities very straight, and I'll be straight with you. It's work.
Yeah.
It's work, bro.
Definitely.
So they'll just see someone who's just working. What's next? Complex website work, digital work, waves of positivity, charity, family. Like, it's just work. We call it work, but it's commitments, just doing what matters to me. But first and foremost, getting the bread, bro. I'm just going to be straight with you guys.
That's it.
Getting the bread. I'm sure that's most of us, and I'm sure I'm answering. I'm just not trying to beat around the bush here. I'm just trying to say how it is and what it is. Do you know what I mean? I'm just saying. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if someone saw me without any words, that would be me. Just someone that's just got that solid work ethic. Alhamdulillah, though.
100%. From what I've seen, that's exactly how I would describe it as well.
For sure. Right, Mr. Haroon. I'm loving this game. We're going through so many cards,
Yeah,
and we've still got a solid 10 minutes before I've got to wrap it up. Next one is, okay, it's not focusing. Do you need to forgive yourself more easily?
Forgive myself more easily. Yeah, again, maybe. Kind of goes back to the last question. Sometimes I may be a little bit hard on myself. Sometimes I probably should forgive myself a little bit, for some of the mistakes I make. But at the same time, I feel like getting too lenient on yourself. You can get into a good habit of just being lenient on yourself and just never pushing yourself. So there has to be a healthy balance. I still haven't figured it out, I'll be very honest. Sometimes I'm very hard, sometimes I'm very lenient. But just figuring out that balance between when to be lenient and when to be hard on yourself to kind of get your optimal results, So maybe sometimes I need to forgive myself more.
Oh, Mubarak.
Alhamdulillah, I try my best.
Love that, man.
Cool. We'll go for the next one. If you could give me a piece of advice on anything, what would it be?
Does it have to be relating to our topic today?
Actually, yeah, it might as well.
Should I make it related?
Yeah.
Start sooner. Like, to you, okay, the question is to you, but I will talk to everyone, right, on here and on Ramadan FM. Start sooner in terms of giving back to the community. Don't think about when I'm successful. Yeah. I'm going to give you reasons why people don't start sooner. Confidence, build on your confidence, self-confidence. Yep. Build on yourself as a person, like, as an individual, like, work on yourself, work on your bad habits, 100%. Strengthen that as well. And this goes out to me before I preach to anyone, by the way. And start now. Like, people always think, when I'm successful, when I finish uni, when I get a full-time job, when I have enough income, when I'm married, when I've got kids, when I know how to go out there and talk to someone. It's like, who's this when, if, but, you know, dot the I's, cross the T's, start now. Start sooner. Sooner you start, the better.
100%.
Always. Just keep it on time. Yep. Next one is... trying to focus it. Do you know what's funny? I'm actually reading it through the camera instead of the actual card, but I'll read it out anyway. What took you the longest to understand about me? I'm going to feel like a narcissist reading these questions out, bro. I want it to be about you, not me. What took you the longest to understand about me?
What took me the longest? I would say that's a difficult question. It's not the easiest question.
Yeah, I think what it's asking is, what thing about me took you the longest to understand? Like, oh, okay, he's like that, or this is what he does.
Yeah. I feel like probably I would say kind of like the work ethic. When, of course, work ethic is something that we always talk about, but when
100.
we kind of worked together, when you mentored me, part of the Complex Academy, it was like, wow, Allahu Barak, you know, the amount of work that you've put in, you know, this, like you said, that you've got a lot of things going on. So kind of sitting down with me and the weekly sessions we had, and kind of keeping up and helping me out with like web designing and agency stuff. It was just like, Allahu Barak, like I was kind of like, yeah, this is, I knew already, but it's just like you said, understanding is like, okay, now I see why this guy is where he's at.
Alhamdulillah, I'm nothing. I'm a nobody, bro. I'll be straight with you, man. Still getting there, still striving, but we work hard every single day. 100%. And you, alhamdulillah, you inspire me as well. So do the other tech lads in there 100%. As well.
So the next question is, tell me something about your mother that you didn't appreciate until you became older.
Early hours, late evenings. Mum's a mental health nurse for the NHS, and I just didn't really see. Like, you're young, you're a kid, right? You don't see how it is to wake up early, go to work by 8 a.m., come home at 6, 7, 8 p.m. Yeah. And it's not like work where you're just sitting down on your backside and just type in and calls or say like non-stressful job like a lot of people have nowadays, non-stressful work. This was like, this is serious work, man. It takes a lot of, it has a lot of hindrances on someone's personal life, and that, alhamdulillah, my mom is a inspiration to myself because of how much she's given back to the community through her job. And she's a very low-key person, man. She don't go out there. She don't have social media. Yeah. But the work she does, Allah Mubarak, bro. Like,
Allah Mubarak.
Yeah, man. That's something I really appreciate. And that's, I wouldn't say you don't hear it often, because I have a lot of friends whose mothers don't have to work, but my mom chose to work, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man. Something I didn't appreciate until later on in life.
Allah Mubarak. At least you're starting to see it now, do you know what I mean? Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Next one. We'll do, let me see the time. Yeah, we still got some couple more in there, inshallah. Next one is, how can you improve your relationship with your parents?
Great question. When it comes to kind of like my parents and helping out, really just being there for them. You know, my parents are getting older. I know that something that being in Allah Ta'ala I can prepare for and make sure that I'm there for them once they get even older. And being in Allah Ta'ala, they can, may Allah preserve them. You know, kind of just being there for them as much as I can. I'm the oldest. I've got 4 younger brothers. You know, I need to make sure that they're really, you know, stand-up citizens at some point in their life, and that they don't really, that they also kind of help out their parents. So for me, it's not just helping out my parents individually, but also making sure that my younger brothers are also there for my parents and setting the kind of the example. So I think how to kind of improve my relationship really is just to be more active, give more time, especially as they get older. I know I'm going to be busier, and I know I'm you know, as life goes on, you know, time gets taken away from us, but making sure that I have time for my parents, no matter how old they get or how old I get.
Everything about this show today has been about time, man. Everything.
100%.
Just giving time. People don't realize time is your most valuable asset. That is what we give back, bro. Like, people don't realize that the time you give to someone, I tweeted the other day, like, time is where your value is. Like, where you give your time, forget money, forget attention, just like time, physical time. Like how we are both here today, we value being on a radio show. Yeah. You know what I mean? You value yourself being a guest, you value being here as a guest. I value being a host, I value Waves of Positivity. So my time, 1 hour, 11 p.m, could be anywhere.
Literally.
You know? So yeah, that's for sure. I asked you that question last year.
Yeah.
We'll make this the last one, inshallah, and then we'll do some bit of outro, drop a few gems, inshallah, and then wrap up.
Inshallah. So the last question is, what about keeping in touch with people do you find the hardest?
The amount of people. Alhamdulillah, you know what? I'm that kind of guy, yeah? Like, believe it or not, I'm less on, like, Instagram. I only go on there to post.
Yeah.
I do check a few things here and there, and like my time's probably average about 25 minutes a day. Yeah. Twitter, as again, go on there to tweet. But WhatsApp, like, I'm so good with WhatsApp, bro. Like, and even if I missed a message from like 6 weeks ago, I'm not that kind of guy that, it's too offensive to respond now. I'll respond.
Yeah.
The issue I have is that I don't ever randomly message someone unless I think about them.
Yeah.
But there's so many people. There's like friends you've known for years. There are people that have helped you once upon a time in life, and you just never talk to each other, but there should be a time you message each other. There's family members that you don't randomly message.
Yep.
You know, but alhamdulillah, I don't know what it is. I'm very good with, like, you know how someone sends you a message and you reply in your head and you don't reply in reality? I don't get that. I get the opposite. I get someone's messaged me, I won't reply right now, but I don't know what, alhamdulillah, later on, I will just get this, like, you need to reply to this guy about this. And then I'll reply, man. So I'm very good, alhamdulillah, I'm very good with my replies. And I'm sorry if anyone has sent me a message out there and I haven't responded. It's still due. Like, I'll scroll down and I'll check it for sure, inshallah. But yeah, that's the last question of the Freshly Garden game that we have. Moving back to the topic of giving back to the community, Haroon, I want us to both drop a gem or two to give an outro. So for anyone that's come onto the show late and listening, alhamdulillah, Haroon has been an amazing guest who has been speaking about giving back to the community, and we've kind of gone into the simple stuff, actually, nothing so crazily detailed, just simple stuff of giving back to the community. And as I said before, the most important thing, which is time. I'll start off with like a solid outro, yeah? Like a gem to finish off with, like a piece of advice, we call it a one-liner, but it always ends up being a paragraph. And my one is, okay, with the inflation and the rises of cost in life, I completely understand that our priority, myself as well, is to make bread. Yeah. Get that income, get those peas, make money, pay for rent, pay for whatever you're paying for, provide for your family. I understand that completely, 101% understand. And I think that should be our top priority as Muslims and as people, just trying to survive. Forget survive, have a good life as well. However, we all need to take some time out in our life to give back. Give back to the community, give back to people. And I'm talking a minimum of a few hours every quarter of a year. So from January to April, 5 hours. Yeah. It's 1 hour, like 2 hours a month, pretty much 1.5 hours a month. Yeah. So literally, and the more we give back, the better our communities get. The better our community gets and the more it grows, the better the outcome of the next generation of communities that come. That's my one-liner. What's yours?
Allahu Barik. I would kind of end it off with us being Muslim. Think about yourself. Think about your deen. You are Muslim. If Allah allowed you to be born as a Muslim, Allahu Barik. And even if you are a revert, the same goes for you, really. You are Muslim. Our predecessors, our ancestors, they've set up kind of like a really good example, and they've laid down the foundation, and the way they've gone about giving back to the community is something that we need to really look at, especially in the day and age where social media is everywhere and people love doing charity in front of the camera. Mm-hmm. It's just like, you need to take yourself out of that mentality and realize, like, do it when nobody's looking, do it when you are the most uncomfortable situation, do it when you can't be asked, do it when you're, like you said, you even if it's not just doing something for the community, if it's like giving money when you don't have much left. Mm-hmm. Those are the things. When you do those things, those are the ones that count the most. Those are the ones that are the most blessed. So I'll have to end it on one last bit when it comes to in Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 2. At the end of verse 2, it says, help one another in acts of piety and righteousness, and do not assist each other in acts of sinfulness and transgression, and be aware of Allah. Verily Allah is severe in punishment. So I'd like to end it there.
SubhanAllah, thank you for your conclusion, bro, and thank you for being here today. Where can people find you if they wanted to see more from you, apart from Twitter? Well, Twitter, right?
Twitter is really the main one. You can find me on Twitter, mainly on Twitter, which is Haroon, so Harun, and then CS, so Castle and Sierra 5, so Haroon CS5. mainly on Twitter.
I think that's your forte, man, for sure. You guys have been tuned in to Waves of Positivity's late night takeover with your host today, Sully SP. And Jazakallah khair, you've been listening to us on Ramadan FM. Hope you guys benefited a lot from this show today about giving back to the community, and we'll catch